Good morning, children. Today we will study the lesson The Age of the Guptas, Chapter 6 in your history textbook. In the first part, we will study the rise of the Gupta dynasty, literary sources, that is account of Fahim, archaeological sources, that is the Allahabad pillar inscriptions, contributions to the field of education and the Nalanda University. So children, let us begin. After the decline of the Mauryan Empire in BC 187, India was torn apart into a separate kingdom for about 500 years. These smaller kingdoms fought against each other for land and power. In the beginning of around AD 320, a great empire arose in India, which is the Gupta Empire. The Gupta Empire began under a ruler named Chandragupta I, who was the first great ruler of the dynasty. At the height of their power, the Gupta ruled most of the northern India, and their empire was the largest that India had known since the days of the Mauryas. India experienced a golden era in the Gupta period that lasted until about AD 540. It was so called because of the high standards of culture and civilization that existed during this period. Various sources, both literary and archaeological, help us in getting knowledge and information about the Gupta dynasty 320 to 540 CE. Literary sources. Account of Fahim. Fahim was the first Chinese Buddhist pilgrim who visited India in AD 399 during the reign of Chandragupta Vikramaditya. He has left behind the Smritis and some interesting accounts which are the chief source of knowledge about the life of the people during the Gupta dynasty. He observed that India under the Guptas was peaceful and flourishing. There was no capital punishment, and offences of any kind were ordinarily punished by changing fines, and death sentence was completely unknown to the people. He characterized the Gupta's administration as mild and benevolent. The people of that time were law-abiding, honest and free from pointless restrictions. On the whole, the administration was more liberal than that of the Mauryas. In his book, Fo Ko Ki, meaning the travelers of Fahim, he described Patliputra, Magda, to be the thriving city that had many charitable institutions, including a hospital funded by caring and wealthy citizens. He praised the people as well as the king as the multitude of religions or all coexisted harmoniously in the society. According to Fahim, trade and commerce flourished during the Gupta period. Large number of people were agriculturists, while others followed the professions such as carpentry, spinning, weaving, potmaking, goldsmith, and animal husbandry. There was no toll tax or land tax, but agriculture had to pay a part of their produce as tax to the ruler. The roads were kept safe for the travelers from robbers. Archaeological source. The Allahabad pillar inscription. The Allahabad pillar inscription is deemed to be the most significant historical record of the classical Gupta age of the time of Samudragupta and is located in the Allahabad fort. This inscription was written by Hari Singh, the court poet of Samudragupta, and so it contains a first-hand knowledge of Samudragupta's reign. The inscription is composed in refined Sanskrit language in Gupta's script, also known as Brahmi script, and consists of a single sentence of 33 lines. The writing on this stone pillar given an exhaustive account of the political career of Samudragupta and the kingdom conquered by him. It provides an impressive list of kings and the tribal republics that were conquered by Samudragupta. It also gives a glimpse of the social contribution of the ages in which the Guptas belonged. Contributions to the field of education. India made a great progress in the field of education. During the Gupta period, in addition to the existence of a large number of the pathshalas or the high school, there were many universities like Nalanda, Takshila, Samad and Ajanta that were busy imparting higher educations to the Shishyas or students. Students from many foreign countries flocked to these universities for receiving higher education. These educational institutions were run by grants of land and charities of the generous public. Nalanda University. As already mentioned, the Guptas were patrons of education. They built many colleges and universities throughout their empire. Of these, the Nalanda University at Nalanda in Bihar, Rajgir, was the most popular and respected educational institution of ancient India. Hyun Sang has given a lot of information about the Nalanda in his accounts. Kumaragupta I established this university in the 5th century AD. The university had 10 temples, many classrooms, meditation centers and libraries. There were 3 great libraries called the Ratna Sagar, Ratnadahi and the Ratna Raja. The subject of study at Nalanda were all the 4 Vedas, logic, grammar, medicine, astronomy and the works of different Buddhist schools. Many Buddhists taught at Nalanda and students were instructed in Buddhist and Hindu philosophy. This university flourished under the Guptas and was later patronized by the Harshvardhana of the Pushpavati dynasty. Nalanda University acted as a guiding light for the people up to the 12th century AD. Okay, children, I will advise you to go through the whole lesson from your textbook to get a better understanding of the chapter. You are also required to do the question and answer in your history exercise copy, which will be checked later. Pay good attention to the spelling, rather write down the hard words and learn them by heart. Have a good day.